Everyone, and welcome to day one of MBC 170. Made it to another class. So let's talk about what we're going to go over. So this is the pathology and laboratory section, and we're just going to do an overview of it. You see pathology and laboratory. This is what it looks like in the CPT manual, the picture on the right. That's not the full table of contents, but that gives you an idea. The codes start with 80047 and go to 89398. It covers lab tests, pathology services, and specimen handling. So that's Path and Lab. And you'll hear it called Path and Lab. That's the same thing as pathology and laboratory, just shortened, because pathology and laboratory is a lot. The organization of the Path and Lab codes. So this is how they're organized in your CPT manual. They're divided by the different types of tests. So chemistry, hematology, microbiology, immunology, and pathology. That's how they're divided up. So that'll be those headings. Then they are grouped by methods and analytes. So methods, how they're done, and analytes are like the chemical substance that makes it up. So that's how they're grouped together. Sometimes codes are often panel-based. Panel-based, if you look in your CPT manual and you look at the metabolic panel, you'll see like 5 or 6 different things, maybe less, maybe more. That means that all of those tests are performed to get that one result. And so all of those tests have to be performed to code that panel. Specimens and specimen collection. A specimen is a sample of tissue, fluid, or other material for analysis. So what are some common specimen types? Blood, urine, tissue biopsies, swabs. So whenever you hear, hey, we need to collect a specimen, they're going to collect some type of tissue or fluid or other material for that test. Specimen collection codes. So like to collect it, like if there's like an injection or anything like that that's given to perform that, to get that specimen. Those are not in the Path and Lab section. Those are found like in the procedure section. So for example, if they had to excise something for a biopsy, excise a cyst or something, you would code that excision of the biopsy would be a whole nother procedure, then coding for the Path and Lab section of the results of that biopsy. There are different tables in the Path and Lab section. So if you go in there and look, you'll see them. They help to organize codes by either the analyte, which is the chemical, or the method. You can help locate codes for specific tests. So different examples would be there are drug testing tables, and you can, if you open your CPT manual, you can see these tables. Genomic sequencing panels. They do enhance accuracy in code selection. Just because of the way everything's organized and grouped in those tables, it can help with the selection of the code a lot easier. Different things to look at. Special considerations with Path and Lab coding. So you have panel codes. These are bundled tests. Remember I went over that. Like a metabolic panel. It means that like when you go to your manual, like example here, look up lipid panel 80061. It has like 5 different tests or maybe more that are performed for that one panel. That's bundled. Now what that means is every single one of those tests has to be performed for you to code it as that panel. Reflex testing and tiered coding those are usually follow-up tests, and they're based on the initial results. And then molecular pathology, those are tier 1 and tier 2 codes for genetic testing. So you would look at that and see, is this a tier 1 code or a tier 2? And that would be in your the information, your documentation that was given, and how you would decide that. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am here to help you. Have a great day one.